poll found that nearly half the country doesn't consider themselves part of either major party and call themselves independent. It seems like JD Vance is trying to broaden his appeal outside of MAGA Republicans. Watch this clip.
I have seen some progressive criticisms of me personally saying, what experience does the Vice President of the United States have with hostile, high-stakes negotiations? And I would point those progressive critics to the fact that just 2 days ago, I spent over an hour on The View. So I actually have great experience in very hostile negotiations, and I've used that. I mean, look, Joy Behar is way tougher than the Iranians, and she and I are best friends now.
We were more difficult to deal with than the Iranian government?
He's being funny.
Can I tell you something? I wish Joy had negotiated this Iran deal. It would have been better.
Would have been better.
First of all, I'd make him a nice meal, my lasagna. We'd sit down and talk. It's like with JD. He was here the other day. I respect the office. I believe in reaching across the aisle. I do.
Yeah.
This is why MAGA Republicans, they're coming around.
They're not.
A lot of them are. A lot of them are. The Republicans themselves.
I think Republicans are, because if you look at it now, less in this country, less people identify as Republicans than ever before. So I think there has been a shift. But I want to know, why were you so in love with JD Vance?
I wasn't in love. Look, I'm not in love with him, and I'm not in love with this administration.
And he's not her best friend.
You are watching me on this show.
He just called you his best friend.
That is not mutual.
She went on a 3-minute viral rant yesterday about this administration, and everyone's like, how do you love them? And then you're criticizing throw them out.
I actually heard what you said to him, right? He was sitting in the middle, you were here, I was here.
Right.
And you said to him, I mean, it was a backhanded compliment. You said to him, you know, you're pretty good for a Republican.
Yes.
And then I sat over here and was like...
He also came in, listen, he came in strategically prepared to disarm us with niceness. He came in being affable and laughing easily and being very nice. I mean, it worked on you, didn't work on me.
Not work on me. I respect the office. I'm a civilized human being. When someone comes on my show...
That's true.
And you treat them like a human being.
Well, Barbara Walters did say that when someone. I
learned under Barbara Walters.
Yeah, Barbara Walters told me that.
She was on top of it.
Guest co-host, she told me when someone comes to your house, you treat them well.
Yeah.
She did tell me that.
I have to say, though, I'm a little bit dismissive of JD Vance as like his political ambitions, because I personally think Marco Rubio is a more formidable candidate. But I have to say, after having him here, I do think that he's more of a political heavyweight. Because I watched him at our table. Nice. He dodged questions. I mean, you were grilling him, everyone's grilling him. He dodged.
He didn't answer anything.
Cool. An audience that's not pretty friendly. Then he goes on Fox, and a kind of different JD Vance comes out. So there's this chameleon aspect to him that can be helpful when running, or it can look disingenuous.
And I think it looks disingenuous for me.
His book reveals him, which is why I asked that in my question. He speaks about falling victim to ambition in his life and how he sought power and a position over any virtue or value. And then he goes on to talk about his evolution of faith. But that part never got away from me, because the biggest criticism of someone who doesn't trust him is he changes colors based on the tree sitting on.
Yeah. But you know what? I believe that people are redeemable. I remember when it was a really good book. He was not the person he is now. I agree with that. Maybe he'll go back to that. Who knows? I can only hope.
But beware of how he flips and flops, because one of the quotes that captured him for me was a tweet he made in 2016, which said, to Christians everywhere, everyone is watching how we apologize for this man. Lord, help us. Yeah. And to me, that captured the brunt of the problem.
And he becomes the vice president to that man. Yeah. Think about that, Joy.
Power corrupts.
But, you know, back to the...
Power is an aphrodisiac.
But listen, I mean, I'm glad we had this conversation, but he responded to that question about his qualifications to negotiate the Iran deal with a joke. And I think that kind of, you know, I know he was joking, but this is really serious. I mean, the truth is, we sent Donald Trump's son-in-law, who has no negotiation experience, Donald Trump's best friend Witkoff, who's like a real estate guy, and JD Vance to negotiate with the Iranians, who are some of the best negotiators in the world.
Yeah.
You want to ask why this deal is so bad?
Didn't Trump say they've never won, but they've won every negotiation?
Never lost
the negotiation.
And the Iranians are notoriously difficult, and now the fact that because of Donald Trump and the time...
So let me ask you something. If Donald Trump came on the show, would you be rude to him?
No, I'd be respectful.
I would want answers. and I'd want to make him answer.
Well,
I would treat him the same exact way I treated JD Vance.
Same.
I would stand up as a respect to the office, and then I would push back on the lies.
that's
Same.
correct. And you did, and that's right.